Today, I'll show you how I craft one of my best projects yet from solid Japanese ornamental cherry. Enjoy! Our daughter was born in May, so I had new priorities and doing woodworking was obviously not one of them at that moment. But after about 6 weeks I was finally able to visit my shop again. And I had a mission, building an entryway table. This project has been heavily inspired by Jonathan's video, so definitely make sure to also check this one out, link in the description. It all starts by dividing a 2.5 meter long piece of beautiful cherry lumber into 3 pieces, where the longest one will act as the live edge tabletop. Once done, I went over to my jointer Frank and planed that tabletop, with Olga later finishing the job by flattening the opposite side to a thickness of about 3.5 centimeters. One heavy downside of using lumber from wild growing trees is that it oftentimes comes with a lot of knots and branches scattered all over the place. Olga sadly does not have a spiral cutter yet, so I oftentimes have to deal with some tear out. This was the case here too, but it's nothing that a bit of black epoxy couldn't fix. Gladly this all happened on the back side of the tabletop, so no one's gonna notice it anyways. After that was done, it was time to trim the other pieces of lumber to their rough sizes over on my bandsaw. And with that out of the way, I flattened one side of each piece using Frank and then ripped the perpendicular side next to it over on my table saw. And here are all the parts, squared up and cut to size after a bit more of bandsaw work. My Laguna drum sander broke a few weeks prior to the creation of this project and is still in repair, so I need to go back to the Stone Age and send everything to 320 grit using my random orbital. In case you're curious, yes, it was annoying and it took ages to do. Now that I'm done whining, I can get back to work though. Next on my agenda was to cut all pieces to size using my sliding table saw and its attached depth stop. As you've seen in the preview, the final piece will look similar to Japanese furniture. Key to achieving this look are the double stretchers at the top, connected by vertical struts, which we will attach using dado joints. These will be cut into the 2 long stretchers using the table saw. Fairly easy procedure where no math is involved whatsoever. All the work is done by symmetry, eyeballing and making smart use of the depth stop. Now I simply proceeded to glue in the struts, making sure that the stretchers are parallel. For this I used 2 scrap pieces of ply which were 11.5 centimeters long. Note that the struts are still overhanging. We will later clean this up by flush trimming the stretchers using the router table. The bottom of the table will also include stretchers, which will be connected by a small board right in the middle, which will make for some extra space to place something on. To attach the board, I used simple domino joinery and a wood glue. Next day rolled around and everything was cured and dry. Before flush trimming the top sections, I cut some of the overhang off using my handsaw, and after that continued to work over my router table. And to make everything look extra spicy, I cleaned the glued up pieces of the residue glue squeeze out with my sander and the chisels, and also filled some unsightly gaps using wood glue and a random orbital without the shop vac being attached. This is very important. We want the wood dust to go into the wood glue and fill the gaps that way. Alright, final stretch. Get it? I'm so sorry. On a serious note though, here comes the final glue up, which will later result in 2.5 hours of painful hand sanding. It was terrible. No strong forces will act on the stretchers or any of the parts that are attached to the legs, since the table will, for my purposes, only be used to store the router and maybe a plant on its top. So attaching the wood via butt joints and using the domino for lineup will be more than strong enough. I'm such an idiot, I messed the dominoes up. God damn it. They should have gone here, so this to the inside. I already had a weird feeling about how I put the dominoes in here. Oh my fucking god. I need to think about a fix. Goodness. Alright, I fixed it. All I did was do the dominoes on the completely opposite side of all of these parts. And everything is pretty much fine. I didn't lose any kind of square or anything of that sort. Yeah, looking kind of thick. Okay, other than that, the only thing I need to do is put those small spacers in, or I should rather say the stretchers, which come here. And yeah, then we can glue everything together. That should be good, I suppose. Let's go! Yep, it's a total mess, but I need to do it in several stages to get the glue up done, so that's a bummer, but it just is what it is. If you mess up, then you try to fix it somehow. What a miserable experience. So glad when this was finally done. Last things left to do was getting the top into shape and making its live edge look thick. And I also needed to somehow attach the base to the top using floating tenons. And this part was by far the hardest, since I've never attached a base like this. So this took me about half an hour to figure out and to come up with a repeatable method. Key to making things work and to place the tenon right in the middle of the 4 cm thick legs was a piece of plywood that I used as a spacer. It's as easy as that, but coming up with such methods is not as straightforward as many people think. Fast tool domino does not equal easy woodworking after all. That's a common misconception, by the way. Such a filthy joint. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad when this is done. Okay, so the distance seems to be fine. Oh my god! It fits right on the mark. Holy fucking shit! Oh my goodness! Oh my lord! Look at that! The marks fit right up. You can see it nicely here. But over here, it's just on point. Oh my lord! And it was such a nice and tight fit. That is amazing. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad it worked. That was the scariest part of it all. And here we are, basically done with the build. Let me just quickly sand the whole top and we'll move over to my house and attach the base to the top. That was really easy, everything fit together perfectly, very snug. After waiting for the glue to settle down for about 4 hours, the last thing to do was to finish the piece with a matte hard wax oil by Osmo, which is also food safe and non-toxic to children.
That is some hungry wood, oh my god, it absorbs wax to such a huge extent, oh my lord.
And here we go, one of my best pieces yet, done. The project took me about 16 hours, stretched over 4 days of work to create, and I am certain that most people would be able to also pull this one off. I hope you did enjoy today's video, and if you did, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel for more woodworking and also gardening content. Thanks for watching, and up until the next video, I'm wishing you guys a flammable day. See ya, and please stay safe.